Hey guys, this is Duncan, and you're watching my second full-on application review. Um, this one's going to be a little different. The last one kind of focused on first-person shooters. This one's going to be more of just random, which is probably what I'll be doing from now on. Okay, the first app I'll be reviewing today is called iLoveFireworks Lite. This app is pretty cool, I've got to admit. I've never really checked out a whole lot of the fireworks applications, and gotta say I'm impressed. Basically, it's real simple. There are about, I don't know, a couple, at least two more on the App Store that I know of, and I haven't tried those yet. But from what I can see from this one, it's pretty impressive. Basically, what you do is you take your fingers on the screen and just drag them up and let go, and basically you just get fireworks. It sounds kind of simple. It's pretty simple to do, but it's really nice. You got some nice graphics. It really pops off the screen. You got some decent music too, which is kind of something. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, not music. Sound effects like fireworks music. Um, it's pretty cool. You can there's all kinds of different ways. You just take your finger at the bottom of the screen or whatever, drag up and let go, and it blows up. And you can draw circles, go round and round and round, do whatever you want. You can use more than one finger. You can use pretty much as many fingers as you can fit on the screen. Like take them on the bottom, drag them up the top, and let go, and have a big bunch. If you just tap, you'll have kind of smaller ones. There's a lot of different features. Especially for a light version, it's really cool. Now, I will say, in the full version, which is $2 at the moment, it's basically the same thing, except there are more, what do you call it? I guess the firework animations. I'm not really sure, but it does get slightly repetitive in the light version because they're probably only about two or three, and you really don't pick them. I mean, all the fireworks mostly look the same. I mean, some of them blow up differently. It doesn't look bad or anything, but after a while, you go, well, it's the same thing. The full version has a few more animations. And I guess it has I'm not really sure how to describe it. Recording. It's hard to explain. Basically, you just hit record before you do it, and you can record your entire show and play as long as you want. Then stop it, and then you can play it over again and everything. And there are two pre-recorded shows or whatever in the light version to kind of show you what it's like, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, I was just messing around with it, and I went over there and looked at those pre-recorded shows, and it's some pretty impressive stuff. But anyway, iLoveFireworks Lite it's a pretty good app. It's obviously it's free. It's a light version. I really don't think the paid versions. That's probably not for me. But this light version is definitely, it's fun to pick up and play it for a little while. It's got some pretty nice graphics. Overall, it's a pretty nice package. I definitely recommend go pick it up, check it out, see what you think, and if you like it, go for the full version. The second app I'll be reviewing it's going to be a really, really simple, basic kind of a really cool, calming kind of app. It's towards the top of the free app leaderboard right now. It's number 2 or something. I'm not really sure. And it's called Fluid. Now there have been a couple of other apps that are kind of like this. Basically, what you do is, it's like, I don't know. I guess it's like a pond or whatever. And basically, you touch the screen, and it's like ripples and everything. I think it's on Koi Pond. Has I think it's Koi Pond. The really cool thing about this is that, I mean, it's totally basic. I mean, there's no menu, there's no options. Basically, you open it up and it's just this. I mean, that said, it's not. I mean, it's an entertainment app, and in my experience, most entertainment apps are pretty much play it a little while, then you get bored. And this one definitely is the same way. It's definitely pretty cool because the touch when you touch and everything, it's pretty realistic the way the waves and everything move. But it's kind of a little, not delayed, but it can kind of get a little off and seem just a little weird. But it's definitely pretty cool because you can take multiple fingers, you can tap, you can push. And it's kind of weird because some of the waves kind of go like off the screen, almost as if like you're like looking at a small part of it, and they come off the screen. You can do it, and all of a sudden, a minute later, some random waves, I guess, that come back. That's kind of weird. part of it. But in general, Fluid is really just really kind of a basic kind of thing. But it is free, and I don't know, I like it. It's fun to try at least a couple times. I mean, there's no harm in picking it up real quick. It's a small download and everything. I mean, it's really simple. I mean, you've got all kinds of touch options, and it does look like water and everything. I mean, it can be sometimes a little odd, but in general, it looks really, really good. I mean, I would at least try it. I mean, I usually any kind of free app, I'm not gonna be a big deal to try it, but it's pretty cool. I'd say go for it, try it. If you like it, keep it. If not, delete it, and no harm done. My last app that I'll be reviewing today is called Trapped Undead Infection. Trapped is definitely a really cool game. I like it a lot. It's a lot like a Game Boy Advance game, which would you think it's $1? And I mean, this is the kind of game that I would probably gone out just a few years ago and paid $30 for. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a Resident Evil style game. You've got a lot of like zombies, and there's a virus that apparently makes them. It's not really that clear, but I mean, they're zombies. Who cares? And you're a scientist. Your memory's wiped out. I don't want to be too spoilers. I mean, get into spoilers, whatever. But basically, you end up trying to figure out what's going on and everything like that. It's a pretty cool game. Trapped is a nice change in pace from the majority of iPhone games, especially in the horror genre. While it lacks a lot of the pick up and play style of those other games, it really more than makes up for it with an actual plot and a really nice amount of polish that elevate it to the level of a console game easily. I mean, like I said, the graphics, they really do remind me of a Game Boy Advance title, which is nothing to be ashamed of at 99 cents. I mean, that's pretty cool. The controls are also kind of similar to the Game Boy Advance. I mean, even down to the on-screen D-pad and the buttons on the side. However, with every single D-pad I've tried for the iPhone, they just don't feel right. I mean, when I see D-pad, I think, a Game Boy with real buttons. Obviously, that's not going to happen on the iPhone or iPod Touch, but still, as far as D-pads go, I mean, there's no problem. I mean, you should be able to walk around just fine. The difficulty of the game is actually quite a bit higher than the average game for iPhone, with some challenging puzzles and some actually pretty difficult battles with some zombies that literally seem to be everywhere. However, once you begin playing, you generally will be able to advance. And when you do get stuck, and believe me, you will get stuck, no big deal to save. There's lots of different save points. No big deal to save, shut off, try it later. Because it does get complicated, and there's some really obscure things. I mean, you got to really look everywhere, and I mean, it's definitely very different from the average iPhone game. I mean, but believe me though, when you do get stuck, it's generally something really, like something you never would have really thought of. But I mean, once you get through it, it's usually pretty smooth sailing for a while until you find the next hard thing. One minor problem of the game, and I'm not going to touch on this too much, but one minor problem of the game, in my opinion, is the fact that the play area, which I guess it's kind of hard to see. I guess you just have to really look at the screenshots, but the play area, there's like a black border around it. Now I can kind of see. I mean, looking at it at first when you start playing, it really actually you might not even notice, but where the buttons and everything are, it's kind of like. There's like a lot of the screen that was just not used almost. Now I don't know if they did not want to do it widescreen. I don't know what the deal was, but it just almost seems a little cheap. I mean, I don't know. It might just be me, but it's still certainly not a deal breaker. Problems with the difficulty and the small size of the screen, they slightly hurt the game, but really it's not that bad. I mean, the fact it looks great, really nice menu. You've got it looks like a flashlight. It's pretty creepy, and some really good sound effects and some really creepy music. It's perfect. It provides you with many hours of playtime, an actual plot. It makes it for a lot of fun. Considering for $1, you can have 5, 6, 7, 8 hour game. Maybe not quite that long, depending on how long it takes you to figure everything out. That's pretty impressive for $1, I think. And there's also a Lite version. If you think you might like it, go ahead and check it out in the App Store. If you enjoy games like Resident Evil, or just merely looking for a good console game for the iPhone, this is probably it. I'd definitely recommend at least check out the Lite version. Be sure to check out Zedric.com for the latest app reviews and iPhone and iPod Touch news. Thanks for watching, guys.